What is going on, my freaky friends? This is your friend King Julian, and in today's very special video I want to bring you the long-awaited review of the new Honda CB750 Hornet for model year 2023 and 2024. My test week has been successfully closed and thoroughly documented, so let's take a look at my key takeaways. A motorcycle which has created arguably the greatest hype since the reveal of the first concept back in 2021, as well as a significant controversy after its actual final reveal in 2022, is finally here for everyone. And the good folks at Honda surely don't hide their excitement at all. The new CB750 is set to represent something quite special. A brand new machine in the middleweight segment, which takes inspiration and direction from its ancestor, but also brings the celebrated brand Hornet right up to date and packs it with a direct injection of excitement and pure thrill adrenaline. Fast, agile and fun. These words should best define Honda's newest addition to the world of street fighter bikes. But is it really the case? Are we really getting an extraordinary new bike? Or is the new Hornet just Honda's desperate attempt to capitalize on a legend whose former glory is forever gone now? I hope I'll get to clarify this as well as many other important questions by the end of this video. Body of this sharply designed beauty weighs only 190 kilograms curb, which has been achieved among other things through the use of a lightweight steel diamond frame at just 16.6 kilograms. For comparison, the CB650Rs is 18.5 kilograms. The chassis consists of an upside-down 41mm Showa separate function fork big piston in the front. Separate function means big piston pressure separation damper in one leg and spring mechanism in the other. This setup significantly improves both the reactions and ride quality. This road, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of blocks actually, and the road is anything but even, and I don't feel almost anything really. This suspension is absolutely brilliant. The rear shock absorber operates through the steel swing arm via ProLink and offers 150mm travel. It features 5-stage preload adjustment with spring rate and damping settings optimized to match the forks. To further elevate handling and ride quality, the lightweight wheels use Y-shaped spokes. The stock tires are Dunlop SportMax Road Sport 2. The braking system consists of dual 296mm discs and Nissin radial mount 4-piston calipers in the front and a single 240mm disc with single piston caliper in the rear. Fuel tank, which takes inspiration from the shape of Hornet's wings, has capacity 15.2 liters including reserve, and according to the official spec sheet, the new CB750 should be able to reach average fuel consumption of 4.35 liters per 100 kilometers, which would mean a fuel range of more than 340 kilometers on one full tank. The extensive electronics package offers following features: dual-channel ABS, 5-inch color TFT instrument display with Honda smartphone voice control, full LED lights with auto indicator cancel and emergency stop signal technology, throttle-by-wire with 3 predefined and 1 user mode, and Honda Intelligent Security System. Together with the brand new Hornet, Honda introduces an all-new engine, a 755cc parallel twin-cylinder which produces peak power of 67.5 kW or 92 horses at 9,500 RPM and 75 Nm of torque at 7,250 RPM. The 270-degree crank, together with an uneven firing order, create a characterful twin-cylinder pulse feeling as well as a distinct engine sound, which is further amplified in case of my demo bike by a muffler designed specifically for the new CB750 in collaboration between Honda and SC Project. It sounds like this. As we can see and hear, the new Hornet has very little in common with its ancestors in general. However, it was the all-new engine that sparked the most controversy among many fans of the legendary original. Many consider the characteristic inline 4-cylinder engine to be the very heart of Hornet. In all fairness, this sentiment is understandable. But then there are those who claim that the new CB750 doesn't even deserve to carry the Hornet's name and legacy at all, which is a statement that I personally find a little too harsh. Anyway, let's finish the introduction now, and I will come back to my opinion later in the conclusion of this review. Besides the color scheme, which can be seen on the main star of this video, the new CB750 is available in 3 more color options. These 4 colors are available in 2024 as well. The new Hornet is also available in an A2 compliant version with peak power output reduced to 35 kilowatts. Together with the new Hornet comes a promise of sportiness, which is in reality linked mostly to the engine. The ergonomics on this one are set extremely comfortably. Seat height is 795 mm, which allows vast majority of riders to touch the ground with both feet flat. With my 177 cm, this bike feels like it has been custom made for me. My charming assistant had a similar impression though, which tells me that this bike's ergonomy could potentially satisfy a wide spectrum of riders of different sizes. Straight back, not burdened by gravity at all, comfortably wide handlebar which provides feeling of security and control, foot pegs positioned slightly in the back which suggests certain sportiness, but not to an extent that would be annoying or painful even after hours in the saddle. The levers of brake and clutch, from which only the first mentioned is adjustable, fit in my hands just as perfectly as the rest of the bike. The only uncomfortable element that I associate with Hornet is this wonderful premium-looking rider seat, which doesn't even come in the standard package.
The seat is hard. I just now realized how hard the seat feels. Not very comfortable, very stylish, beautiful seat. And it's been what? An hour in the saddle, more or less. And I'm feeling this way. But now I'll relieve my ass a little bit because the turns are coming. As soon as I can switch my position in the saddle, it's getting very, very nice. This is cool. Oh, thank you.
It is perfectly fine for your everyday urban journeys or any ride with enough turns and position changes, but on a long, boring motorway trip it will slowly turn into an ass-torture device. Unfortunately, this time around we didn't get to test the bike for pillion comfort since it came with this sharp-looking seat cover. I hope we'll get to do it some other time though. As we've already established, the new Hornet comes with a truly generous electronics package. The TFT display is finally getting into Honda's middleweight segment, and I firmly believe that it soon takes over the whole portfolio. The information on the dash is perfectly visible, logically arranged, and you can read lots of useful data such as fuel gauge and consumption, riding mode selection, engine parameters, gear selected and customizable shift-up point on the rev counter. It further offers 4 types of speed and RPM display, analog or bar, according to the rider preference. Also incorporated into the interface is the Honda smartphone voice control system, which links the rider to their phone via Bluetooth and allows voice management of phone calls, messages, music and navigation. Sounds too good to be true? You might actually be right, at least about the navigation part.
I downloaded the app from the App Store. I paired my phone with the bike, which went pretty easy. The navigation is kind of, I don't know. You have to put there a concrete address, otherwise you might have a problem. It couldn't find any of the shopping malls in Bratislava, which is a little strange. I don't know how old this app is. I would guess it's pretty new and it still needs some work. Anyway, I thought that the navigation would actually display on the dash, which doesn't seem to be the case. I can only navigate through the app using these arrows here, but it won't actually put the instruction directly on the display, which is a little disappointing. I would like to turn off the screen on my phone and see the instructions on the display directly. Anyway, let's pretend that I'm actually fine with this. I find it useful, and see how fast or slow the navigation actually is. Oh, now here. Okay. Well, we know 46 meters. Should I turn 39 meters? Where is it really? Okay. $23 meters. Okay. Ah, now I get it. It's directing me towards a gas station, which is right here, I suppose. Ah, God. And there's no way I could get there from where I am right now. So I'm giving up. Yeah, the navigation sucks. The app is not really useful, in my humble opinion.
Which is why we still depend on the phone mount and independent mobile navigation apps just like Google Maps or Waze. But let's get back to those electronics that actually work. Throttle-by-wire engine control offers 3 default riding modes, adjusting the engine's delivery and feel to suit conditions and the rider's intent. There are 3 levels of engine power, engine brake and Honda selectable torque control, aka traction control, with integrated wheelie control available as well. Traction control can also be switched off. The riding modes offer different combinations of each parameter. Sport uses level 3 engine power and level 1 engine brake and traction control to deliver maximum performance with minimum intervention. Standard mode is a midway setting that uses level 2 for all 3 parameters. Rain mode employs the lowest level 1 engine power setting for the least aggressive power delivery with level 2 engine brake and level 3 traction control. User mode allows the rider to choose between the 3 settings for each parameter and save the setting for the future use. The modes are easily switched and managed by using the left handlebar mode switch, which is solely dedicated to this one purpose, and I freaking love it. The only piece of technology that keeps the electronics package from perfection is the cruise control, which unfortunately isn't available for this bike at all. Personally, I ended up not missing it much though.
Basically the cruise control is right here in my right hand. Effortless. It feels so light, so easy. I'm just basically holding it in position with my fingers. No wrist braking, nothing else.
The new CB750 is presented as a street fighter, hence a fun-oriented, lively machine intended mainly for city life, with mostly young riders in mind. While there is nothing untrue about that statement, I dare to say that the potential of this machine reaches far beyond that. But first things first, let's see how it handles its primary mission. It was definitely made for city life. It's quite compact, so occasional or even frequent filtering will be no challenge at all. Thanks to its lightweight and perfectly balanced chassis, it is very easy to maneuver whether you've picked up speed or you need to move it manually, which should be especially appreciated by less experienced riders. Last but not least, the extremely light clutch lever is perfect for city riding too, ensuring that your fingers never get tired from endless clutch work in city traffic. The Nissin brakes always do their job incredibly well, and they're a perfect match for a bike of this weight and engine power.
They're not too bitey, they're not intended for a sports bike, and for a track day they're perfect, ideal for a bike of this aim actually. So anything more aggressive would be potentially dangerous even for a bike like this, because everything is so smooth, everything is so comfortable, and then suddenly you hit the brakes, it's like, bah! You know, you don't want that. You don't want that with a bike like this. They just wouldn't fit the overall experience.
I can imagine the braking performance wouldn't suffer even with extra weight on, which leads me to further possibilities that you may unlock with the new Hornet. Yes, indeed, I think this machine can be a very capable companion for daily commuting, full-day trips or even a short vacation. With extra 2 liters of fuel tank capacity compared to most of its direct competitors, as well as efficient fuel economy, the rider is able to cruise comfortably without having to stop at every gas station. With just minor upgrades such as windshield, luggage and maybe a comfort seat, you could turn the new Hornet into a pretty capable traveler. Of course, a vacation for 2 with a fully loaded bike might be too ambitious of a plan, but I think 1 person could do more than fine. Not bad for a naked city bike. Finally, I know you can't wait to get the answer to the question which has tortured humanity since the beginning of time. How would the new Hornet perform in the less friendly off-road terrain? Well, there's no better way to answer it than our traditional off-road challenge.
For those of you who are saying, Julian, please, this is not proper off-road, I promise you that I'm taking the next demo bike all the way to Scotland where I'll drive it off a cliff. Now let's go. Before anybody sees me. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. A lot of stones, a lot of gravel. By the way, I'm in the rain mode, which means least sensitive throttle. Shit, mosquito. Highest level of traction control. Let's go off-road, baby. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. No way. I don't want to crash the bike, of course, but I want to see how the suspension and the chassis behaves in this situation. And it's really nice. It's as good as it gets for a city bike. Absolutely. Africa Twin was more comfortable. I know that's hard to believe, but that's just how it feels. Maybe I'm softening up. Oh shit, I can't wait for this to be over. So, what else can I say? It's definitely not an off-road oriented bike. Newsflash, surprise, surprise.
On top of the off-road challenge, this time around I also got to experience wet riding. Motorcycle handles it with no issues whatsoever and the stock tires never let me down. To close this chapter, I would just add that as an orthodox naked bike, Hornet will be quite easy and practical to maintain. Regular maintenance tasks such as oil change are very easy to perform without having to disassemble half of the bike, which is always nice. A street fighter is naturally expected to possess specific character and strong fun element, which are exactly the criteria that get criticized a lot about Honda bikes. There is a relatively widely spread opinion about their engines being too friendly and too calm, which makes them pretty safe and suitable for a wide range of riders on one side, but also kind of boring and lacking character on the other. Needless to say, the specifications of the new Hornet suggest the exact opposite. With its light wet weight of only 190 kilos, it should have a class-leading power-to-weight ratio. The numbers, however, may not always truthfully represent the real-life experience, so let's take a look at my key takeaways. The engine is surprisingly not as lively in the lower revs as I expected. Unlike the sports-oriented bikes, the first gear on Hornet is quite short and merely intended to get the bike moving. In the second gear, the engine wakes up, but only when it gets a firm and clear signal from the throttle that I really mean to have some fun now. Third gear is where the awaited rush of power finally happens, and the mid-rev range is where Hornet really shows its stinger. It brings a wide smile on my face, which stays until the ride is over. To my pleasant surprise, this parallel twin seems just as lively and powerful at high speed, in high revs and top gears too, which adds not only to the fun element, but most importantly to riders' overall safety, especially during high-speed takeover maneuvers. Of course, I had to take it to the twisties too. Given my history with Honda, I knew full well what I can look forward to, and the rest definitely didn't disappoint either. The chassis is perfectly balanced as usual, and together with the ideally wide handlebar, it provides great feeling of stability and control. Motorcycle sits on the road beautifully as I'm driving around the corners, and the cherry on top is the throttle, which again holds steady revs whenever it's needed. This, together with a powerful and torquey engine, provides a perfect full package for any rider who wants a versatile machine, not only useful in the city, but also very capable during sporty adventures. Fun element and character are not an issue with the new Hornet. The only thing it is missing is purely cosmetical: the wow effect. The design, though pretty, doesn't really knock anyone's socks off. It is one of those machines that you have to touch and feel and experience to fully appreciate it. And once you do, the chances are you will not want to part ways with it anymore. It is especially true with the muffler from SC Project, which brought me so much joy and raised this bike's sex appeal at least by another 30%. Increasing efficiency in production by reusing as many components as possible throughout the product portfolio can really take a toll on the wow effect and originality of the design. On the other hand, it definitely has positive impact on the overall build quality and reliability, as well as the price tag. During my test week, I couldn't find a single physical imperfection on my test subject. Honda meets its high standards again. The new Hornet is a solid piece of motorcycle where everything sits right in its place, nothing wiggles or bends, and nothing seems to be too fragile. Now let's talk about those who should consider this bike and those who should maybe look for different alternatives. My personal opinion is that Honda perfectly delivered what they promised, especially concerning the main target group. Hornet is a perfectly logical choice for a young rider who is ready to get his first big motorcycle. It is a versatile, fun, smartly aggressive and technologically advanced companion for every day. Actually even for life, unless in hands of a rider with a very specific high standards that go far beyond this bike's simple philosophy. Besides that, the absolutely unbeatable price tag surely plays a huge role for any rider who isn't a millionaire yet. And so does the maintenance effort and cost, which should also be pretty low. Hornet really convinced me that it is unbeatable in its class if we look purely at the price versus quality ratio. Of course, it can also impress an experienced and skilled rider who's just looking for something really capable for every day, as well as weekend escapes from reality and much more. Despite the fact that this bike is quite refined and especially tame in the rain mode, I wouldn't recommend it as a first pick to a complete beginner. Don't get me wrong, it does have a lot of features ideal for a beginner, such as lightweight, compact dimensions and a lot of electronic aids, but it also has the torquey engine which could really surprise and punish an unexperienced rider. And so we're getting to the very conclusion of this review. Does the new Honda CB750 have the right to further carry the legacy of Hornet? I can understand where the sometimes pretty harsh criticism comes from, but personally I would totally give it a go. Honda could have played it safe and followed the general expectations, but instead of giving the world another 4-cylinder in the same class as the wonderful CB650R, which quite honestly would hardly lead to any major improvement of Honda's portfolio, they gave us a brand new twin-cylinder engine with a great dose of character and sportiness, which is a living proof that Honda still has it. Whether the fans like it or not, the new Hornet is here, and I surely hope it doesn't go away anytime soon. It would be wonderful if we could accept the new direction, appreciate the differences, and see the undeniable qualities which this new model brings to the motorcycling world. It doesn't have to be love at first sight, but if we give it a chance, it might end up being even more honest and rewarding after all. And that's it for today's review. If you liked the video, please leave a like, comment or subscribe to my channel. and I'll look forward to the next one. Cheers, bye bye.